Ba? Ayan. Hello everyone. Good morning, good day sa inyong lahat. So, for today, discuss natin yung Corporation Accounting Module 1. Ako pala si Camille, third year BS Accountancy student. So, ang table of contents natin for today is itatakal natin yung basic considerations and about share capital. So, sa basic yung definition of a corporation, bits of a corporation, and other classifications of a corporation, steps in creation of a corporation, articles of incorporation versus bylaws. Share capital naman yung shareholders equity component, key terms, assist ng share capital. Wait, try ko mag-on ka kung gagana siya. Yan. Para sa unang episode 1, basic considerations, tagal niya mag-load. Definition of a corporation. So, ano nga ba yung corporation? Its definition is an artificial being created by operation of law, having the right of succession and the power, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incident to existence. So, gamayin natin yung mga yan. So, una, a corporation is an artificial being with a personality separate and apart from its individual shareholders or members. So, yung corporation nagfa-function siya as a being, pero ang kinaiban lang sa atin, natural beings tayo, pero yung corporation is artificial. Personality na iba dun sa personality and identification ng shareholders or members. Yung shareholders or members, yun yung owners ng corporation. So, it means na yung corporation, pwede siyang masu or pwede siyang magsu on its own name. Second, it is created by operation of law. It cannot come into existence by mere agreement of the parties as in the case of business partnership. Sa partnership kasi kapag nag-agree lang yung dalawang business owners, pwede na mag-form. Pero in this case na corporation, hindi pwede na ganun lang verbal agreement. Kailangan dumaan siya sa mahabang proseso at saka kailangan na may nakalagay, require special authority or grant state, kailangan bigyan siya ng authority ng state, either by a special corporation law that directly creates the corporation or by means of general corporation law. So yung the Corporation Code of the Philippines, yun yung pinagbabasehan natin, yung Revised Corporation Code of the Philippines. Yun yung pinagbabasihan ng corporation years, yung doon natin mababasa tungkol kung paano nag-ooperate yung corporation, kung ano yung mga limitations and powers na meron yung corporation. Third naman, it employs the right of succession. So, yung ikumpara rin natin slide sa partnership. Sa partnership, mag-agree yung dalawang partners, buo na siya. So, kapag na-dissolve siya, kapag may namatay or may nag-withdraw ng isa dun sa mga partners, dissolve agad yung partnership. Pero dito sa corporation, dahil nga meron siyang separate na personalities, artificial being na siya, yung meron siyang right of succession. So, kahit na bumitaw yung ibang shareholders, magbenta ng shares, okay lang. Magko-continue pa rin yung existence niya. So, ito nga. The transfer of ownership of shares or stocks does not dissolve the corporation. Yun yung kinaibahan niya sa partnership and sa sole proprietorship. And then number 4 naman, it has the powers, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incident to its existence. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito is yung lahat ng powers, yung attributes niya is naka-based lang dun sa law. Hindi siya pwedeng kumilos like outside the law na lalabag na sa batas ng the Revised Corporation Code of the Philippines. Next naman, classes of corporation. May dalawa daw classes ang corporation. Stock corporation, and non-stock corporation. So, ang easy explanation lang dito, yung stock corporation is yung share, yung dividends, meron silang dividends tapos yung dinidistribute nila sa kanilang members. Sa non-stock naman is ito yung mga for non-profit. So, walang part ng income nila na dinidistribute as dividend sa kanilang mga members or trustees or officers. So, pag stock, it's profit organization. Sa pag non-stock is hindi siya tinayo for profit, really pwedeng for charity, for religious purpose, ganun. Other classifications of corporation. Antayin ko lang mag-load dito sa shared screen. Ayaw niya pa rin. Anyway. Tagal. So, other classifications ng corporation, meron siyang according to number of persons, nationality, public or private purpose, whether for charitable purpose or not, legal right, according to the legal right to their corporate existence, degree of public participation, tsaka relation to another corporation. So, according to number of persons, mayroong under ng dalawa, aggregate and sole. Kapag corporation aggregate, ibig sabihin, hindi lang isa yung corporator, so madami yung owners. For example, yung dito Blue Rock Aggregates Corporation. Ito iba pang corporation na madami yung may-ari. Sa corporation sole naman, special form of corporation usually associated with the clergy. It is a corporation which consists of only one member or corporator and his successors such as bishop. So, ang sabi dito, special form of corporation siya. Na usually, yung mga corporation sole is, yun nga, yung Roman Catholic Arch Archdio Archdiocese of Manila. Tapos, kahit mamatay yung let's say ay pangit naman. Let's say, mag-step down sa posisyon, puwedeng pumalit. So, hindi mawawala yung posisyon na yun. Kumbaga yung mga tao na yun nire-represent lang yung posisyon na meron. So, kahit mag-step down or mawala yung current, may papalit pa rin ng bago kasi yung posisyon naman yung ano, yung importante. According to nationality naman, may domestic and foreign. So, from the word itself, 'pag domestic, ito yung mga local corporation na nagbi-business sa Philippines at dito din mismo in-incorporate. Example is BDO Unibank Incorporation. And yung foreign naman, na may business dito pero originally, sa ibang bansa sila nag-incorporate. According to whether public or private purpose. 'Pag public corporation naman, corporation formed or organized for the government of a portion of the state. For example daw nito is provinces, cities, municipalities, or barangays. So, 'pag public, related or organized siya for the government. 'Pag private naman, a corporation created for private in benefit or purpose. Corporation formed with specific purpose that is normally to do business. So, 'pag private corporation naman, ang thinking or ang iniisip, um, ang thinking diyan is normally to do business. Hindi siya unlike dun sa public na for government purposes, sa private naman is, uh, private purposes or for businesses usually. Next naman, according to whether for charitable purpose or not, may ecclesiastical and eleemosynary corporation. Yung ecclesiastical is for religious purposes, and yung eleemosynary is corporation is for public charity. And civil corporation naman for business or profit. Example is Nestle. Sa ecclesiastical corporation, yung mga religious nga like Roman Catholic Diocese of San Pablo. Yung eleemosynary naman is like yung mga foundation, yung Angat Buhay Foundation. Then sa civil corporation nga is established siya purely for business. Next naman is according to their legal right to corporate existence, may de jure and de facto. Pag de jure, ibig sabihin, organized in strict conformity with the law, na ipasa na yung mga kailangan requirements, basta yun, planchado na lahat. Sa de facto naman, nag-exist na siya, but not in law. Pero yung usually reason daw nito is, um, hindi pa hindi pa tapos yung mga ibang requirements na necessary para magkaroon ng legal right, pero considered na siya as corporation. Next naman is according to degree of public participation with regard to share ownership. So may closed corporation, open, publicly held corporation. The closed corporation, a corporation whose share ownership is limited to selected persons. So since closed nga, parang nakasarado sila, hindi sila open sa ibang member. So either selected persons lang or members lang ng family. Example is Mindpro Incorporation. Then, open corporation naman, corporation na pwedeng mag-purchase or mag-subscribe yung kahit na sino na tao. So, kahit hindi ka member, kunwari may isang corporation, tapos hindi siya member ng family or hindi siya kasama sa mga selected person, kahit sino, kahit ako, kahit ikaw, pwedeng bumili. Yun yung sa open corporation. Pag publicly held naman, a corporation with a class of equity securities listed on an exchange or with assets in excess of 50 million and having 200 or more shareholders. So kapag lumampas na daw yung assets ng 50 million and meron siyang 200 or more na shareholders or at least 200 which holding at least 100 shares of a class of its equity shares, considered na siya as publicly held corporation. Masyado na kasi siyang malaki, so kailangan ng i-considered as publicly held para mas stronger yung regulations ng government. And next naman, according to the relations to another corporation, merong parent or holding corporation tsaka subsidiary corporation. Yung parent is a corporation that is related to another corporation that has the power to either directly or indirectly elect the majority of the directors of a subsidiary corporation. So yung parent, ito yung may control sa subsidiary corporation. Yung subsidiary siya yung kinokontrol ng other corporation. Kumbaga may malaking portion. Nag-gain ng control yung isang corporation dun sa isang corporation. Kaya naging parent siya nito. Example, yung Aboitiz Equity Ventures Incorporation. Separate siyang corporation tapos may subsidiary siya which is yung Aboitiz Power Corporation. Three main steps naman in creation of the corporation. Simplify lang to syempre. Yung promotion, incorporation, commencement of the business. So sa promotion, dito na gumagawa ng preliminary engagements yung mga incorporators, tapos nag-raise sila ng capital para sa business nila. And ayun, basta nagse-set up dito na lahat nangyayari yung pagse-set up ng organization. Sa incorporation naman, dito na sila nagda-draft ng articles of incorporation. Tapos kailangan daw naka-execute yun and harap sila before a notary public. Ipa-file naman yung articles of incorporation sa SEC. Tapos after nun, pwede na mag-issue si Securities Exchange and Commission ng Certificate of Incorporation. So, kapag na-issue na yun, pwede nang mag-start yung business ng operation that within 2 years ng date ng incorporation. So, after incorporation, pwede na commencement of the business, ayun na yung pagsa-start ng business. So, kapag hindi daw nag-start si corporation within 2 years from the date ng incorporation, madi-dissolve na yung corporation. So, kailangan kapag nagtapos ka na ng incorporation, mag-operate na within 2 years. So, sa article of incorporation versus laws, ano nga bylaws, ano ba yung pinagkaiba nila? Yung articles of incorporation is a legal document filed with the state government to formally create a corporation. Yung bylaws naman, internal rules and regulations adopted by a corporation to govern its internal affairs and conduct of its business. So, yung article of incorporation, ito siyang legal document na, ayun nga, kailangan i-file sa state government para sa creation ng corporation. Tapos yung mga content do'n, ano ba yung name of corporation, paano siya ginawa, yung purpose niya, name ng mga corporators, names and nationalities, pati yung address nila. So, yung mga technicalities ng tungkol sa incorporation nandoon. Pero yung bylaws, ito yung internal rules na, ito na yung ginagawa ng incorporators para i-adopt ng corporation. Yung bylaws, pwede yan mag-iba-iba per per corporation. Kasi sila magde-decide kung ano ba yung manner of conducting ng meetings nila, paano yung voting and yung paggamit nila ng proxies, authority, pati kung ano ba yung duties and authorities ng directors and yung term. Pero siyempre yung mga nakasaad sa bylaws nila dapat in compliance pa rin dun sa general law ng corporation natin. Skip na natin 'to. Sa pangalawa na, episode 2, yung share capital naman. Siguro para mas maintindihan natin ng maayos, nilay down ko yung tatlong, accounting equation dun sa yung sa tatlong nating forms of business organization. So, sa sole proprietorship, asset equals liabilities plus owner's capital. 'Pag partnership naman, partner's capital yung tawag, kapag corporation naman, shareholders' equity. So, kapag owner's capital, siyempre isa lang 'yan. 'Pag partners, puwedeng 2 or more, ta's nakalagay yung names nila. For example, Bautista Capital, Arzoles Capital, gano'n. Sa corporation, hindi gano'n. Ang tawag sa kanila is shareholders' equity. Tapos ano nga ba yung components ng shareholders' equity, ano yung mga nandun? So, sa shareholders' equity, merong 4 main components. May contributed capital, retained earnings, other comprehensive income, tsaka treasury shares which is an contra equity account. Pero mag-focus lang tayo dito sa contributed capital tsaka treasury shares. Yung retained earnings, next module yun na. Yung contributed capital, kung makikita niyo sa representation natin dito, may 4 na under din sa kanya, kumbaga composed yung contributed capital ng 4 na 'to. So, may share capital, may share premium, subscribed share, subscription receivable. Tas under pa ng share capital, may dalawa pang classification which is ordinary and preference share. Discuss natin yung 4 na 'to. Contributed capital. Ano ba yung contributed capital? Yung contributed capital, it reflects the amount of resources received by a corporation as a result of investment by shareholders, donations, or other share capital transactions. Other terms used down dito ay shareholders' capital, equity capital, or paid-in capital. So, yung contributed capital, lahat ng na-receive ng corporation as a result of investment, yun na yun. So, kasama yung share capital, yung share premium, yun nga yung mga under dun, subscribe, ordinary share, pati yung kahit pati yung subscription receivable, which is a contra equity din. Mag-dive na tayo dito sa 4. So, share capital, it is an amount fixed by the corporate charter to be subscribed and paid in or secured to be paid in by the shareholders of corporation. So, 'pag share capital, ito na yung fixed amount na, na na kailangan i-secure nung mga subscribers o ng shareholders, ng owners, ng mga gustong bumili sa corporation, either through money, property, labor, or services. And after nun, kapag na-issue na, dun na which is to conduct yung corporation, yung operations ng corporation. Basta 'pag share capital, ang tatandaan lang natin, yung turo sa'min din before is, yun yung fixed amount. So, yung par value amount ng mga shares na in-issue, yun lang siya. The share premium is, ito naman yung additional paid-in capital. So, usually kasi 'di ba, kapag bumibili ng shares o may nag-i-issue ng shares si corporation, paminsan may pasobra dun sa par value yung binabayad. So, yung sobra dun sa par value, ang tawag dun is share premium. It may also result in from transactions involving treasury stocks, pag nag-retire na yung shares, yung mga donated capital, and share dividends and other gain ng corporation na makukuha ng corporation gamit yung its own stock transactions. Subscribed share capital naman and subscription receivable. Yung subscribed share capital, it is the portion of the authorized that has been subscribed but not yet fully paid. So, kumbaga sa subscribed share capital may nag-promise na to buy yung shares pero hindi pa lang siya fully bayad. So, technically hindi pa siya issued or nabebenta lahat. Kasi kung nabenta na lahat, ibig sabihin bayad na lahat. Pero 'pag sa subscribe, puwedeng may down payment siya pero pero hindi pa yun sapat para ma-cover yung mga shares na sinubscribe niya. Sa subscription receivable naman, siyempre dahil nga sa subscribe share capital hindi pa bayad lahat, so may portion pa dun na ire-receive ng company. So it is considered a shareholder's equity account and presented in the statement of financial position as a deduction from the related subscribed ordinary shares. So kapag collectible siya within 1 year, classified naso-shown siya as current asset. Pero kapag, usually kapag silent yung problem, treated siya as a reduction to shareholders' equity. Mag-illustration pala muna para makita yung paano nagsu-subscribe and all. So, dito example, Amity Incorporation was incorporated on January 2, 2021 and has been authorized to issue 500,000 shares of 10 par ordinary shares. The following 2021 transactions relate to the initial issuance of Amity share. So, noong January 2 daw, nag-incorporate yung si Amity, eh. So, noong January 2 gumawa ng memorandum entry to say na the corporation is incorporated with 500 shares, authorized 10 par yun. Kumbaga dinescribe lang, memo entry lang. Wala siyang journal entry. So, kapag regarding to incorporation is hindi siya nagjo-journal entry. Ito naman sa second transaction, Amity sold subscriptions for 25,000 shares of stock. The shares have a subscription price of 15 per share. One-third of the subscription price was received as down payment. So dito meron ng binentang subscriptions. Pero ang one-third lang nung subscription price yung na-receive. So, since may price na ditong 15, ang ide-debit natin sa subscription receivable is yung price na binigay, yung subscription price. So, yung 25,000 times 15, which is yung 375,000. Then, i-credit naman natin yung 25,000 times 10, which is yung par value, kaya siya 250,000. So, yun nga, yung share capital natin, subscribe share capital natin, it's always credited lang sa par value, hindi puwedeng lumampas do'n. Kaya yung excess, in excess nung sa share capital natin, eh, nag-credit tayo ng share premium ordinary. So, para makuha yung 125, i-minus mo lang yung subscription receivable natin na 375 to 250,000 na subscribe share capital natin. So, balancing figure siya nung dalawa. So, 'yan, balanse na yung debit and credits natin. So, sabi pa dito, nag-1/3 nga is binayaran, kaya magde-debit tayo ng cash, which is 125,000, and babawasan na natin yung receivable na meron na tayong 375. Kaya yung 375, yung receivable na lang is 375, 'yan, nagwo-work siya, minus 125. Yeah, 250 na lang yung receivable natin. So, para mga mawala siya, debit cash and credit yung subscription receivable. Next naman, nung March 9, ito na, nag-issue ng shares as a payment for incorporating the business, 15,000. Nag-issue daw ng 1,000 shares. So, ibig sabihin, for as a payment for incorporating, so, pag issue, ibig sabihin sold na to, hindi tayo gagamit ng subscription or anything. So, as a payment daw nung sa pag-incorporate of business, yung nag-issue ng share yung corporation. Kaya ang dinebit dito is organizational expenses, which is yung issued price niya na 15,000. And next naman, kinredit yung share capital, again, sa par value lang. So, 1,000 times 10 na par value is 10,000. Then yung balancing figure ulit ng dalawa, kung ano man yung in excess ng par is ika-credit ulit sa share premium ordinary, which is 5,000. Next, April 13, an installment amount to 1/3 of subscription price was received. So, yung related to dun sa February 1 natin. So, nagbayad daw ulit ng another 125,000. So, journal entry natin yun. Debit cash, 125, and credit subscription receivable. Nakatanggap na ng cash, so aalisin na yung subscription receivable. Next, May 19, Amity exchanged 200 shares of stock for a furniture having a fair value of 3,800. Dito naman, nakita na pwede din mag-acquire ng shares gamit naman sa kung furniture yung kumbaga yung binigay in exchange na dun sa shares of stock. Ang gagamitin din dun is yung fair value niya 3,800. Kumbaga parang yun yung treatment is parang yun yung issued price natin. So, since may natanggap na furniture in exchange of 200 shares ng stock, de-debit natin yung furnitures, which is 3,800. Then again, share capital according to it, its par value is 2,000. 200 times 10. Then, credit din natin yung excess ulit nung sa 3,800 na worth ng furniture na na-receive natin. So, credit natin share premium na 1,800. Tapos nung June 3 naman, ayan na na bayaran na daw yung final 1/3 ng subscription price. So, debit natin yung cash kasi naka-receive ng cash, and credit ulit yung subscription receivable kasi nawala na ulit yung 125. So, after nun nakumpleto na. Yung subscribe share capital natin magiging officially share capital na siya. So, para alisin na yung sa share capital at gawing share capital na, na-debit yung subscribe share capital at i-credit na yung share capital na 250,000. And yung July 11 naman, reacquired 2,500 shares at 12 of Amity to be held in treasury. Ay ito, patikim lang 'to sa treasury, sige. So, kapag treasury, ang ang nire-record siya at its cost. So, yung 2,500 times 12, debit treasury shares ng 30,000 and credit mo yung cash kasi binili niya yung sarili niyang sariling shares ng corporation binili, buy-back. Okey. Ito naman tayo sa two classes of share capital. So, merong preference share and ordinary share, preferred stock or common stock yung other terms niya. Sa preference shares, it represents a class of shares in a company that comes with certain preferential rights and privileges compared to ordinary share. So, usually yung privilege na meron yung preference shares is una lang siya sa makakakuha ng kumbaga may priority siya, may fixed income na matatanggap yung shareholders ng yung mga may-ari ng preference share kumpara dun sa ordinary share. So, kapag nagkaroon na ng distribution ng dividends, una muna yung mga holders ng preference share. So, usually may nakalagay yan kung 10% ba, 7% ba, gano'n. Sa ordinary share naman, it represents residual ownership equity. The holders of this class of share capital carry the greatest risk. So, sa ordinary share, lahat lang nung dividends after lang mabigay sa mga preference share na shareholders ng preference share, tsaka makukuha ng mga shareholders ng ordinary share yung kanilang, dividends. Pero ang maganda naman sa ordinary share, kumbaga sila yung talagang, sila yung nabasa ko na kino-considered as basic owner nung corporation talaga kasi sila yung mas may voting rights compared natin sa preference share kasi usually walang voting rights yung preference share, mga holders ng preference share. Tas para mas ma-appreciate pa natin yung difference nila, sa module 1 naman, makikita pa lang natin dun is yung like sa journal entry pa, mas ma-appreciate niyo siya sa module 2 niyo kapag yung retained earnings na. Kasi dun makikita si Alodra Corporation was organized on September 24, 2020. The corporation was authorized to issue 10,000 shares of 10% preference shares, 100 par value, and 100,000 shares of ordinary shares, 40 par value. So, i-record down in General Journal the following transactions. So on September 4, nag-sold ng 40,000 shares of ordinary shares at par. Nung 27, nag-issue ng 1,000 shares, 7 nung 7 naman. October 7, sold 5,000 shares of preference shares, and nung October 12, nag-issued ng 30,000 shares ng ordinary share. So nung September 24, nag-create ng memo entry as para ipakita na for the incorporation or nag-organize na ng corporation. Ito na yung memo entry lang diyan, yung description kung ano yung ilang authorized shares, kung ano yung par value, kung ilan yung ordinary shares at kung ano yung par value din nun. Pero sa September 24 nagbenta na rin siya agad ng ordinary shares. So kapag ordinary shares ang ginagamit na account title is ordinary share capital. So nung nag-issue ang dinebit is yung 40,000 at par daw, so yung par ng ordinary which is 40,000 times 40 is 1,600,000. Then credit din natin in the same amount, 1,600,000 yung ordinary share capital. Walang share premium kasi inisyu naman siya at par. 27 naman, issued 1,000 shares of ordinary shares to lawyer in exchange for legal services pertaining to incorporation costing 50,000. So, yung inisyu na daw na share is in exchange for the legal services. So, hindi cash ang natanggap natin kundi yung service ng pag-aayos ng for legal services na pag-aayos ng incorporation. So, cost siya, expense siya ng organization. Kaya yung dinebit natin is organization expense, which is yung 50,000 na yun daw yung cost nga. Pero gano'n nga 'pag nag-i-issue tayo ng share, yung ki-credit natin is yung ordinary share capital muna at its par value, which is yung 40,000. Then credit na lang natin yung excess nung cost nung total organization expense dun sa par value amount nung ordinary share capital na in-issue as in exchange. So, may natirang 10,000, kaya 10,000 yung sa share premium ordinary. October 7 naman, nag-sold ng 5,000 shares of preference shares at 110 for cash. So, makikita natin 100 yung par value ng preference share, pero 110 siya binenta. So, yung natanggap na cash ng corporation is 550,000 kasi 5,000 shares times 110. Credit naman yung preference share capital sa par value ulit, kaya 500,000 tapos kung ano man yung natira, yun yung share premium preference. So, basically yung treatment pa din dito sa module 1 na lesson natin is halos same pa din siya, yung kinaibahan lang is yung kanilang account title. Mas ma-appreciate niyo nga yung difference niya sa module 2. Tapos, ito naman, nung October 12, nag-issue siya ng 30,000 shares of ordinary share in exchange for a building naman with a fair market value of 1,850,000. So, yung 30,000 shares na in-issue, building pala yung kapalit. So, ang ide-debit natin, eh di siyempre yung natanggap natin which is yung building na 1,850,000. Kasi i-credit yung ordinary share capital na yung 30,000 times 40 na par value. Basta lagi lang siya yung sa par value amount or par value amount nung shares na in-issue. Then again, yung whatever yung excess nung sa ordinary share capital, yun yung ilalagay natin sa share premium ordinary. Next naman is, share capital may be issued with par value share capital, no par, but with stated value, no par, no stated value. Kapag par value share capital, ibig sabihin, may nominal face value, may nilagay na fixed amount kung magkano yung share doon sa stock certificate tsaka sa articles of incorporation. So, kumbaga, once na binigyan na yung stock certificate tsaka nung ginagawa yung articles of incorporation, specific na, ito yung amount, may nakalagay. Kaya merong par value kaya consider siya as par value share capital. Pero, kapag no par pero may stated capital with stated value na nakalagay sa stock certificate na ini-issue sa owners pero hindi na ilagay sa articles of incorporation. Kapag no par, no stated value naman, wala na ngang nilagay sa stock certificate, wala pa sa articles of incorporation. Pero may minimum daw yan according to sa law natin na 5 pesos. So, hindi pwedeng mag-issue ng shares na mas mababa pa sa 5 piso. Ito yung difference nung mga par and no par value. So, si Caterina Corporation Articles authorized the issuance of 100,000 ordinary shares. Katrina sold the following ordinary shares during 2020. Yan. So, nung 12, sold 1,000 shares. Nung March 5, 5,000. Nung August 6 is 7,500.
So, tatlong senaryo kung may 100 par value, kung may 10 na stated value, and kung walang par, walang stated value. So, dun tayo sa ano muna, sa may par value. So, the ordinary shares has 100 par value. Nung Feb 12, 1,000 shares daw for 1,000 100,000 for 1,000 shares. So, yung 1,000 times lang natin sa 100, which is yung par value nga na given. So, yun yung cash na na-receive natin, 100,000. And since sa par value din siya in-issue, so wala tayong share premium, share capital lang yung i-credit natin, which is 100,000. Then, nung March 5 naman, nag-sold daw ng 5,000 shares for 630. So, naka-receive tayo yung corporation ng cash na 630,000. Tapos sa share capital, since 100 lang naman yung par value, dun lang natin ibe-base sa 5,000 times 100, 500,000. So, may share premium yun kasi may binayaran in excess nung par. So, 630 minus 500,000, 130,000. Noong August naman, 7,500 shares naman daw for 1,050,000. So, yun yung natanggap, 1,050,000. So, yun yung i-debit natin sa cash. Credit natin sa share capital kung ano lang yung par amount, par value. So, 7,500 times 100, 750,000. Tapos yung tira do'n, credit lang ulit sa share premium. Ay, bago tayo magpatuloy pala, sige i-ano ko muna yung legal capital para so, ano ba yung legal capital? Yung legal capital is a portion of contributed capital or the minimum paid in capital which must remain in the corporation for the protection of the corporate creditors. So, yung legal capital, ito daw yung kumbaga parte ng sa contributed capital na dapat naka-stay lang sa corporation, hindi ginagalaw para protection of the corporate creditors. Kumbaga para kapag may protection yung corporate creditors na kapag nag-exhaust sa liquidation pati, sa pag nag-exhaust na yung mga assets and all, may matatanggap pa rin yung corporate creditor, so hindi siya puwedeng galawin. So, in case naman kung may par value, ang ang considered as legal capitals is lahat ng issued shares, lahat ng nabinenta plus yung subscribed shares. Kapag no par value naman, yung issued shares, subscribed shares, kahit pati yung share premium kasama na, considered na siya. So, kaya dito, may par value tayo. So, yung legal capital is 1,350,000 lang. Dahil, ang kinonsider lang natin dito is yung tatlong 'to. Yan, yung 750, 500, 100. So, 750 plus 500 plus 100, 1,350,000. Yung contributed capital naman katulad nung sa kanina, 'di ba, yung components niya, nandun yung share capital, share premium, pati subscribe share capital. So, lahat na 'yan kasama yung share premium, kaya share premium tsaka share capital kasama dun sa contributed capital kaya mas malaki yung contributed capital natin kaysa sa legal capital natin. Pero dahil 'yan dahil at par value siya, dito naman tingnan natin yung case kapag stated value lang siya. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, kapag no par value kasama yung share premium sa pag-consider ng legal capital. So, the ordinary share has 10 stated value. So, debit natin yung cash, which is 100. Then, share capital na 10, since 10 lang yung stated value niya, 1,000 times 10, yun lang yung share capital niya. And kung ano man excess doon, yun na yung share premium. Nung March 5 naman, nakatanggap siya ng nakalagay dito 'di ba same lang naman, so 630, 630 pa din. So, debit natin kung magkano man yung natanggap, 630,000. credit lang natin according sa stated value na 10, 5,000 times 10, so 50,000. Yung share premium niya, malaki, 580,000. Then noong August 6 naman, 1,050,000 daw yung natanggap in exchange dun sa stated value. So cash, debit lang yon, credit mo lang ulit yung share capital na according dun sa stated value, yun yung ano mo, then credit lang sa share premium yung excess nung dalawa. So sa computation ng legal capital, same na lang sila nung contributed capital kasi nga stated value lang 'to, wala siyang par value. Yun yung treatment sa kanya. So, yung 10,000 times na plus 90 plus 50 plus 580 plus 75,000 plus 975,000, yun yung nagko-compromise nung legal capital. Gano'n din yung same treatment dun sa contributed capital. Ganito din halos yung sa 'pag no par or stated, basta mawala lang yung par, gano'n na yung consideration niya sa legal capital. All issued, subscribed, pati yung share premium kasama na sa computation. So, para hindi na tayo siguro paulit-ulit masyado, kasi gano'n lang din siya halos. So, yung sa computation ng legal capital, lahat lang nung cost. So, pero ang difference lang dito sa no par, 'pag walang par tsaka wala na ngang par, wala pang stated value, hindi sila gumagamit ng share premium sa kanilang entry. So, kaya ang nakalagay din lang dito kung ano yung cost is share capital lang. So, cash 100, share capital 100,000, tapos kapag cash, nung March 5, cash 630,000, share capital 630,000. Pati nung August na 1,050,000, hindi na sila gumamit ng share premium kasi wala namang stated value, walang par value na binigay. So, hindi natin ang computation natin 'di ba 'pag share premium in excess dun sa par or stated value, walang gano'n. So, share capital lang yung mako-consider natin. Ito additional ano lang, definition or additional knowledge lang sa preference shares, meron siyang tatlong types. Actually, may iba pa, pero like common types 'tong callable, redeemable, tsaka convertible. So kapag callable preference shares daw, preference shares that can be called back or redeemed by the issuing company at a specific call price. This feature provides the company with the option to repurchase the shares from shareholders. So pwedeng ibenta at pwedeng may option si company to repurchase yung share at a specific call price. Pag redeemable, preference shares naman that comes with a specific redemption feature, allowing the issuing company to redeem or repurchase the shares after a certain period of or under specified conditions. So kapag kung yung callable, pwedeng i-repurchase ni company at a specific call price, sa redeemable naman may specific redemption date. Yun yung difference nila. Sa convertible preference shares naman, preference shares that carry the option for the shareholder to convert them into a predetermined number of ordinary shares. This feature provides flexibility for investors to participate in the company's equity growth. So kapag convertible naman, may specific na predetermined number of shares na pwedeng i-repurch i may option si shareholder to convert them into a predetermined number of ordinary shares. So yung preference shares niya, iko-convert niya into number of ordinary shares na may ratio yun, may specific na predetermined na. So, ang sabi kaya daw yung preference shares, may option to convert kasi may nagpo-provide nga siya daw dito nakalagay na flexibility for investors to participate in the company's equity growth. Kasi 'di ba 'pag preference share usually, yung yung privilege niya nga is for distribution ng dividend pero kapag ordinary share for ordinary shares yung pagmamay-ari is like, basically like ikaw yung residual owner, kumbaga ikaw yung may voting rights. So kapag gano'n, mas kumbaga mas, may parte yung ordinary shares sa growth nung company. Eh, since may tao mayroon na palang mga nandito, hello sa inyo. Meron tayong drill number 3 na dito pero unang drill pa lang natin 'to. Right, JP wala ka, JP yan points natin kung sino man yung makaka-answer. So sa drill number 3 natin, in a corporate form of business organization, legal capital is best defined as A. The amount of capital the state of incorporation allows the company to accumulate over existence. B. The par value of all capital stock issued. C. The amount of capital the federal government allows a corporation to generate. D. The total capital raised by a corporation within the limits set by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Ano kaya dyan yung magbe-best describe sa legal capital? May gusto bang mag-answer? Ano daw yung best description for the legal capital? Okay lang kung may naisip na kayong sagot on mic or puwede ba akong since ang nakita ko ay si si Isaac parang nandito pa. Isaac, mayro'n ka bang may sagot ka ba dito? The corporate form of business organization, legal capital is best defined as? So, 'di ba na-discuss niyo sino yun? May nag-on mic, sino yun? Parang wala pa? Oh, si sige. Si ano kaya, si Abigail? Hala baka okey lang kahit kung ano lang yung sa tingin niyo or baka shy pa kayo. So, i-ano na lang natin, ano yung answer dito, discuss na lang natin. So, in a corporate form of business organization, legal capital is best defined as B, the par value of all capital stock issued. 'Di ba kapag may par value, yung may par value yung corporation, ang computation natin ng legal capital is lahat nung share capital, pati yung subscribed share capital, hindi kasama yung share premium. So, ang considered lang sa kanya is yung par amount niya, yung par value niya. So, best definition or best description for the legal capital is itong par value nung lahat nung capital stock na issue. Ordinary o preference kasama. Basta as long as yung par value lang, yung par amount lang. Hindi ko alam kung naabutan niyo kanina yung visual representation, eh. Pero dito, on an entity's statement of financial position, which of the following would not be listed as contributed capital? A. Ordinary share. B. Preference. C. Retained earnings. D. Share premium. Ay, may hindi pala maka-on mic si Isaac yata. Di allowed yung chat. Sige, okay lang. So, ito, may gusto bang mag-answer dito?
Si po ba?
Ha? Sino
Si
yun?
po.
Si Daniel. Wow, letter C. Tingnan nga natin. Tama, retained earnings. Hindi siya kasama dun sa contributed capital. Another component siya ng shareholders equity natin. Ang galing. Anong name niya? Si Daniel? Si Daniel. Nilista ko siya later. Meron kang 10 JPN points. Dito naman sa drill number 5 natin. Ayan na, computation na. Ang hinihingi dito is total contributed capital. So, Sinegros Company daw was incorporated on January 1, 2021 with the following authorized capitalization. Yung ordinary share capital niya is 20 million, preference share 10 million. Then during 2021, the entity issued 150,000 ordinary shares for a total of 18 million and 50,000 preference shares at 60 per share. In addition, on December 15, 2021, subscriptions for 20,000 preference shares were taken at a purchase price of 100. These subscribed shares were paid for on January 15, 2022. Net income for 2021 was 5 million. Pero ito na yung given information pero ang hinahanap niya is total contributed capital. May mga information dito na hindi naman dapat isama, pampalito lang ganun. So, bibigyan ko kayo siguro na 5 minutes. 5 minutes para basahin ulit, tsaka, hindi, sige, mga 7 minutes. Basahin pati i-compute yung sa drill number 5 natin. Tapos mag-on mic na lang din kayo if may answer kayo. 25 JPN points din to. Sige, clue yung contributed capital natin. Ano yung composition niya ulit? Yung share capital, yung mga ordinary and preference share capital. Tapos yung share premium nun, pati yung mga subscribe. Composition siya ng contributed capital. So, ipag-add lahat yun. May nakapagsagot na ba? May answers na ba yung iba? May ibang may answers na? May sinagot pala si Isaac. May chinat siya. So, check natin kung ano. Ay, nauna yung shortcut. Yan. So, ang answer is 23 million. So, balikan natin. So, si Negros Company daw ay authorized. Yung mga nakalagay na description dito is ito yung mga authorized pa lang kay Negros. Hindi pa siya na-i-issue. So, yung sa competition natin, ang kinonsider is yung ordinary share capital na in-issue na 150,000 shares. Yung preference share capital na 50,000 shares times 6. Tas times 60 kasi kasama na dun yung share premium. And then yung subscribe preference share capital. So, balikan natin. So, during 2021, issued 150,000. Di sinabi kung magkano, basta yung total cost lang. Pwede naman i-compute kung magkano yung issued price niya later on. And then, nag-issue din siya ng 50,000 na preference shares na at 60. So, 50,000 times 60, yun yung preference share na in-issue. Then, in addition, on December 15, 2021, subscriptions naman na 20,000 preference shares. Purchase price ng 100. So, 20,000 preference shares times ng purchase price na 100. Kaya 18 million plus 3 million plus 2 million is equals to total contributed capital na 23 million. So, yun yung shortcut kasi mas madaling mag-compute kapag like since alam natin nakasama yung share premium kapag contributed capital, diretso times na natin doon sa issued price na binigay or sa total cost na binigay, total consideration na na-receive ni corporation. So, yung breakdown niya is ito na. Ordinary share capital nga, 15 million lang yung ordinary share capital niya. Then, share premium ordinary, 150,000 times 20. Kasi yung dinivide natin yung 18 million sa 150, ang ano niya, ang issued price niya is 120. Since 100 lang yung par value natin, mayroon tayong 20 na excess. Yun yung yung allocated sa share premium ordinary. So, 150,000 times 20 equals to 3 million. Then, yung preference share capital naman is 50,000 times 50. Yun yung given na par value amount niya. So, 2,500,000. Yung share premium preference niya, di ba 60 daw in-issue? So, 60 minus 50, 10. 10 yung allocated doon sa share premium. 50,000 times 10 is equals to 500,000. Then yung subscribe preference share capital naman, in-issue naman siya at par, 20,000 times 100 is 2 million. Total ng 23 million. May points pa din si Isaac. Okay lang. Feeling ko nalito lang siya doon sa 20 at 10. Kasi nasabi ko may. Pero authorized pa lang to. Hindi pa siya yung nai-issue. Kaya yung dalawa yung hindi kasama. Yung 23 million lang. Yun. To, mayroon pang isa. Legal capital naman yung hinahanap. So, si Glenn Company daw. Sige, 5 minutes. Or 5 minutes or 3. Baka may ma-answer kayo. Hala, 9:60 na pala. May nakapag-answer na ba? 'Pag legal capital, 'di ba ang kino-consider lang ay yung mga preference share, ordinary share, subscribe. Ayun, si Daniel. Anong answer mo, Daniel?
11,215,000 po.
11,000,000. 11,000,000. Medyo malayo, pero sige discuss na lang natin. May points ka pa din. Salamat sa pag-answer. Galing, galing. Ito. So, ang considered lang sa legal capital lang yung nahanap. So, yung preference share, ordinary, pati subscribe lang. Balikan natin. So, yan. Itong ano natin, preference share capital na nandito, 2,310,000. Ordinary share na 5,255,000. Tama. And then, yung subscribe natin na 500. So, hindi natin isasama yung mga share premium na yan. Kasi at par, may par siya. So, yun lang, yung tatlong yun yung considered. Thanks, thank you, Daniel. Dito naman tayo sa key terms. Ano yung authorized shares, ano yung par value authorized. Yung ba nadaanan na natin kanina. So, authorized shares, maximum number of shares that the corporation can issue. Ay, nagdoble pala siya dito, authorized share capital. So, yun, pareho lang sila. Corporation, ito lang yung allowed allowed na i-issue ng corporation, yun yung tawag, authorized share capital. Pag issued naman, issued shares, yung lahat ng shares na nabenta at nabayaran na in full. Yun nga, yung subscribe share capital, portion of authorized share na na-subscribe, pero hindi lahat hindi pa bayad lahat. Katulad nung kasasample natin kanina. Yung share premium naman is portion ng paid-in capital representing amounts paid in excess of par. So, yung sobrang binayad sobra sa par na binayad is sa share premium siya nilalagay. So, yung treasury shares naman, ito na, treasury shares issued shares acquired by corporation but not retired and are therefore awaiting to be issued at a later date. So, si corporation, binili niya yung shares niya from a shareholder na issue niya na sa shareholder tapos binili niya ulit. Usually ginagawa yun para daw i-hold back yung mga shares para ma-maintain yung control. And then yung huli naman, outstanding shares, ito yung issued shares which are at the hands of the shareholders. So, issued shares less treasury shares. So, pag yung issued shares minus the treasury shares, yun yung lahat ng outstanding shares na meron ka. Kasi 'di ba pag treasury shares, pag nag-issued ka ng shares, ibig sabihin yung mga binenta mo nandun na pagmamay-ari na ng shareholder. Pero kapag kapag ginamit na natin yung term na treasury shares, yun nga na 'pag nag-acquire na si corporation ng mga shares ng mga issued shares, which is yung mga shares na binili na ng shareholders, kumbaga buy-back niya ulit, kailangan ima-minus na yung amount ng treasury share na binili niya from the shareholder para makuha natin yung outstanding shares. Kasi yung outstanding shares, ito yung lang lahat ng shares na na-issue na ni corporation na nasa kamay pa rin o pagmamay-ari ni shareholders. Yung treasury shares, hindi na yun pagmamay-ari shareholders kasi nga binili na ulit ni corporation. Kaya kailangan i-minus yung treasury shares para makuha yung outstanding shares. Key terms. Ito, meron pa ulit. Ito daw, what is the difference between issued shares and outstanding shares of stock? Ano kaya yun? Yung issued shares. So, kanina, di ba, parang algebraic. Yung difference niya, ibig sabihin yung answer. Yung pag minus daw yung issued shares saka yung outstanding shares of stock. Ano yung difference? Ano yung answer?
C po ba?
C. Si Daniel yun, no? Tingnan natin. Tama, letter C. Galing. So, meron ka ulit 10 JP. Mahakot ka na ng JP yan points, ha? Galing. Thanks. Ito, explain further natin yung treasury shares. So, isipin nyo yung dito sa may nakapoint ng arrow, yun yung may-ari or yung may hawak na nung shares. So, sa treasury shares, ang nangyayari sa treasury shares, si corporation, 'di ba nung una, si corporation magbebenta siya ng shares kay shareholder. So, sa step 1 yun. So, kung nakapoint ng arrow, so si shareholder yung may-ari nun sa step 1. Pero sa step 2, corporation bought back the shares sold. So, binili daw ulit, edi binenta niya na nga kay shareholder, tapos si corporation naman, binili niya ulit. So, yung sa araw, siya na yung owner, siya na yung may hawak ulit ng shares na unang binenta niya kay shareholder. Gets ba? So sa treasury shares, may iba-iba siyang like scenario. Pwede siyang i-reissue ulit, tsaka pwede siyang i-retire. So after, 'di ba, binili ulit ni corporation yung shares na in-issue niya kay shareholder. Puwedeng kapag nasa kanya na ulit yun, puwede niyang i-reissue o kaya i-retire. So kapag ni-reissue, ibebenta niya ulit. Kapag ni-retire, wala, totally ika-cancel niya na yung shares na hawak na meron siya. So, sabi dito yung reissuance daw ng treasury shares ay may order of priority kapag loss. Kahit sa retirement meron, magkaiba silang dalawa. So kapag loss lang, ang order of priority is i-absorb muna yung lahat ng nasa share premium treasury. At saka kapag wala na yon, tsaka na yung retained earnings. Sa retirement naman, pag cancellation na talaga and loss yung naging result ng pag-retire ng treasury. Ang unang priority na ma-absorb muna na related dun sa treasury shares is yung share premium ordinary, and kasunod na nun yung share premium treasury, then tsaka next na yung retained earnings. Pero pag gain, madali lang kapag gain yung nag-result. Basta kung ano man yung excess, sa share premium treasury nyo lang siya ilalagay. Yan. Kumbaga, itong nilagay ko para lang matandaan nyo, para alam din yung gagawin nyo kapag naka-encounter ng loss. Ito, example natin sa treasury shares. So, ito yan. On December 31, 2021, shareholders equity section of April Corporation Statement of Financial Position is as follows. Ordinary shares daw na 1.5 million. Share premium 300, retained earnings 2.5. So may total shareholders equity siya na 4,300,000. Noong February 8 daw, nag-purchase ng 50,000 shares of its own stock for 750,000. So, ibig sabihin nito, bumili si corporation ng sarili niyang stock. So, yung stock na yon na kay shareholder, binili niya for 750,000. Tapos, ang treasury share kasi, lagi siyang nire-record at cost. Ito yung cost method. Ito yung usually na ginagamit. So, kaya yung buong yung buong issued price nung 50,000 shares, yun yung amount na dinebit sa treasury shares. So, debit treasury shares na 750,000. Then, credit mo yung cash na 750,000 kasi naglabas ka ng pera, bumili ka, binili mo yung sarili mong stock eh. Noong February 17 naman, nag-sold ng 10,000 shares of the treasury stock for 20 per share. So, and ang tawag dito is, reissuance. Kasi 'di ba kasi nga binili niya tapos binenta niya ulit yung treasury stock na meron siya. So, dahil nagbenta siya, meron siyang natanggap na pera. Yung 10,000 shares na treasury stock na binenta niya, tinimes niya lang sa 20 na issuance price niya. So, 10,000 times 20, 200,000. Then yung treasury shares naman, i-credit mo siya since babawasan mo siya. And siyempre, yung allocated lang dun sa total cost ng treasury shares na binili ni corporation yung iko-considered natin, aalisin natin. Kasi 'pag isasama pa natin yung in excess nung sa, like in excess dun sa yan, yung share premium, 'di ba? Yung in excess dun, eh, di mababawasan na yung like total number of nung 50,000 shares kapag sinama pa natin itong 50,000 dun sa ibabawas dun. Magiging misstatement siya. So, credit natin yung treasury shares ng 10,000 tapos yung 15 yung cost. Saan galing yung 15? So, yung 750,000 dinivide lang natin dun sa 50,000 shares. Yun yung cost ng treasury share so parang kumbaga para siyang value niya at yung cost niya per share is 15 pesos. Kasi yung price niya nga is yung total issuance is 750,000 pero yung pinurchase is 50,000. So, divide lang yun kaya 15. Tas yung ano man yung excess dun sa treasury shares na kinredit natin, na inalis natin, dun na mapupunta sa share premium treasury. 'Di ba yung kanina, reissuance gain, ang ano lang dun is laging sa share premium treasury. Hindi puwedeng gumamit ng gain na account kasi within the lang siya, shareholders equity. Kapag ginamit natin gain, parang ang nangyari niyan parang may external income na natanggap tayo which is hindi naman. Then nung March 29 naman, nag-sold daw ng 15,000 shares of treasury stock for 8 per share. Yan, ito na, lost na 8. Yung 'di ba 15 niya binenta 15 niya binili pero nung March 29, 8 pesos niya lang binenta. So, loss na 'to. So, since nagbenta siya, nakatanggap yung corporation ng cash. So, 15,000 times 8, yun yung 120,000. Tas i-credit muna natin yung treasury shares na 15,000 times 15, ito yung cost niya. Ito yung total ng treasury shares na inaalis natin. So, yung 225 ma-minus natin sa 120. 105. Yun yung ika-allocate natin sa share premium tsaka sa retained earnings. Pero kung may sapat na amount si share premium treasury, itong 105,000 na difference nung dalawang yan, puwede niyang ilagay lahat. Kaso wala, 'di ba? Dito walang given, walang ibang existing premium treasury. Dito lang natin nakuha yung 50,000 dito sa earlier transaction natin na nag-result nga into gain kaya may 50,000 share premium treasury. So yung share premium treasury na yun gagamitin natin siya sa March 29 transaction natin. I-absorb na natin lahat, kukunin na natin lahat. So kung ano man yung matira, yun na yung retained earnings na yung kumbaga mag-a-absorb nung loss na yun. Diba dito, ito Nung number 1 is share premium treasury, yung pangalawa is retained earnings in terms of issuance. Nung nung April 3, sold 10,000 shares of treasury stock for 18 per share. Ayan, gain naman ulit. 15 yung cost, pero 18 niya binenta ulit. So, nakatanggap siya ng cash na 180,000. Credit natin yung treasury shares na 150,000. Kasi 10,000 times 15, which is yung cost nga. Tapos yung difference nun is yun yung share premium treasury. Ito naman, noong April 22, ni-retire na daw yung mga remaining treasury stock. Compute muna tayo ng, yan nga, nag-purchase siya ng 50,000. So, yung 50,000. Tapos, binenta niya yung 10,000. So, ima-minus natin. Tapos, binenta niya ulit yung 15,000 nung March. Tapos, binenta niya ulit nung April yung another 10,000. So, 10, 20, 35,000 yung lahat nung nabenta niya. So, ayan, nag-error. Pero anyway, 35,000 lahat yung, i-ano na lang. 35,000 yung lahat ng nabenta niya. So, 50,000 yung shares na binili niya, tas yung 35,000 ay binenta niya, eh di ilan natira? 50 minus 35 is 15. 15,000. So, 15,000 shares na lang yung natira. So, sa retirement, kailangan, since i-retire na natin yung treasury stock, aalisin na natin yung ordinary share capital. Tapos yung ordinary share capital na yun, always measured siya at par. Kasi 'di ba, yung mga binenta naman nating yung mga binought back, yung mga treasury share naman natin, yung binili ni corporation as a treasury stock, may yung na-issue na siya before. So, may connected na siya sa ano, kung may ordinary share capital na siya kumbaga. So, ang gagawin natin, since ire-retire na at ika-cancel na at all, aalisin na yun yung kaakibat nun. So, yung ordinary share capital, 15,000 times 10, 150,000 kasi aalisin na natin. Tapos yung treasury shares natin, aalisin natin based on its cost, which is 15 nga. So, yung 15,000 times 15, ito yung 225,000. E di magkaiba. So, may loss yan. Hindi na natin magagamit yung itong retirement loss order of priority natin. So, una daw i-share premium ordinary. 'Di ba una nating dinembit yung ordinary share capital. Yung sumunod is yung share premium ordinary. Ito na yung total loss, yung tatlong 'yan. Ito kasi talagang ide-debit 'yan kasi aalisin na. So, itong tatlo, ito yung considered as yung loss nila. So, yung 30,000 nakuha natin kasi hindi naman natin puwedeng lahat ng total loss 30, 60, no 75,000 na loss. Dito lahat sa share premium ordinary na 'yan kasi ang composition ng share premium ordinary kasama na diyan yung ibang mga inissued na shares. So, parang tinatanggalan mo ng share premium yung ibang shares na na-issue mo sa iba. Kaya ang kukunin lang natin is yung ano, allocated lang dun sa para lang dun sa tinanggal natin na ire-retire natin na share. So, yung 15,000. So, para makuha yun, yung 300,000 para makuha natin ilan ba yung share premium kaya na average per ordinary shares na issued and outstanding. Yung 300,000 i-di-divide sa 150,000 na shares issued na outstanding, 2. So, 2 pesos. Parang 2 pesos na yung pumapatak na na worth or value nung share premium ordinary per share. So, yung 2 pesos na yun, ita-times natin sa 15,000, which is yung number of shares na dire-retire natin. 15,000 times 2 equals 30,000. Yun na yung total na allocated para dun sa sa share na nire-retire natin. Then after naman nun, gagamitin na natin yung share premium treasury. Pero sa premium treasury, 30,000 na lang yung natira natin kasi nagamit na natin kanina, 'di ba? Ta's nag-sold na lang ulit ta's may natira pang 30,000. So, yun yung gagamitin natin. Hindi pa rin enough kasi 75,000 yung loss, 30, 30, 60 pa lang yung na-allocate natin. So, dun na natin gagamit yung pangatlong priority which is yung retail earnings. So, lahat na natira 75 minus 60 sa 15 sa retained earnings na natin ilalagay. So, yung 15,000 na yun, allocation to retained earnings. So, ito yung entry natin sa pag-retire. Debit ordinary share capital 150, debit share premium ordinary 30 kasi loss share premium treasury 30, retained earnings 15, tas credit na, yan. Na-retire na yung stock. So, kung sakali mang gain, simple lang siya. Yung hindi na natin gagamitin 'tong share premium, share ordinary treasury, retained earnings. Ike-credit lang siya sa share premium treasury. Kasi dun lahat nire-record or ina-allocate yung mga gain. Ito naman, drill number 8. Si Day Company daw held 10,000 shares of 10 par value as treasury required for 120,000 won. At year-end, the entity reissued all 10,000 shares for 190,080 pesos. What is credited for the excess of the reissue price over the cost of treasury shares? So, ano daw, ang tanong dito, ano yung share premium treasury? So, binenta niya na-acquire niya yung 10,000 shares for 120,000 won. Tas yung at year-end, binenta niya ulit lahat yun for 190,080. Magkano kaya yung magkano yung gain dun? Kung may gain ba or may X pa? Sige, bigyan ko yung mga 3 minutes or 2 minutes. Kapag may sagot na kayo agad, pwede kayong raise hand na lang agad or mag-online or chat. May answer na ba? May nag-answer ba? Share premium treasury. May answer ka ba, Isaac or si Daniel? Ayun, si Daniel.
Yung value lang po ba?
Oo.
70,079 pesos po.
Yun. Check nga natin yan. Sabihin tama. Yan, tama. Yung credit na yung share premium treasury niya, 70,079. Kasi, di ba dito, meron siyang nire-acquire na treasury reserve for 120,000 won, pero nire-issue niya for at mas malaking price. So, 190 80 minus 120,001. Ki-credit niya yon sa share premium treasury na 70,000. Binigay ko na. Okay. Thank you, Daniel. Hala, meron pa. Last na to, I think. Last drill na. Ilan daw yung total na authorized shares, ilan daw yung total unissued ordinary shares, pati yung number of shares outstanding. Dito 5 minutes. Ito mga 5 minutes. So, 2, 5. Mga 9:50. Or pwede na din kayo mag-answer kung meron. I mean, after ng kahit 2 or 3 minutes. Ang hinihingi pala dito, hindi yung number of shares basta yung total, like par value amount niya. Ayan, may chinat si Isaac na answer. Ang sagot niya ay sa letter A, 300,000. Sa letter B is 30,000. Sa letter C is 17,000. Check natin kung tama. Yan. Wow, galing. Tama. So, total authorized shares daw. So, sabi dito may 20,000 shares authorized. So, times lang yun sa 15 par value para makuha yung total. Tapos sa letter B naman, total unissued ordinary shares. So, yung 20,000 may authorized daw ng 20,000. So, anong part dun yung hindi pa nai-issue? So, yung authorized, ma-minus mo lang na yung 20,000 shares authorized, tsaka yung ma-minus mo lang sa 18,000 shares na na-issue. So, 20,000 minus 18,000 is 2,000. Tapos, pag nakuha mo na yun, tsaka mo ita-times sa 15 na par value, kaya 30,000 yung nakuha natin. Sa letter C naman, to, ang tinatanong lang is number of shares outstanding. So, yung 18,000 shares na na-issue, ima-minus lang natin sa 1,000 shares na treasury stock. Diba, kung matatandaan nyo yung kanina, outstanding shares equals to issued shares minus yung treasury stock. So, 17,000. 17,000 yung total nung number of shares outstanding. Yun. Thank you, Isaac. Galing. So, extra discussion lang natin. Pasada lang natin ng konti. Kasi baka hindi usually lumalabas sa exam to kung i-compute na ng shareholders equity. So, kung malatandaan nyo kanina, ay hindi ko alam kung naabutan nyo, pero papakita ko na dito. Ayan. Sure. Ano yung components ng shareholders equity natin? Meron tayong contributed capital, retained earnings, other comprehensive income, treasury shares, contra equity. So, pag contra equity, ibig sabihin, nileless siya dun sa total shareholders equity. So, under contributed capital nga, share capital, share premium, subscribe shares, saka subscription receivable. If silent yung problem, treated siya sa, beyond 1 year, tsaka silent yung problem, treated siya as contra equity. Nagiging shown lang siya as current assets kapag collectible within 1 year. Yan, balik tayo ulit dito. Sa given. Yan. So, dito, kukunin daw natin yung total shareholders equity. So, yan, ordinary shares, kasama yan. Subscribe ordinary shares, kasama 27,000. Subscription receivable, silent yung problem, walang sinabi kung 1 year, collectible within 1 year or hindi. Ang treatment natin is beyond 1 year siya. So, ma-minus natin siya, contra equity siya. Subscription receivable na 17,000 is deducted. Then, i-add natin yung retained earnings na 200,000. Share premium na 95,000 and treasury stock na 25,000 ay i-deduct din natin. So nakita niyo from representation kanina, subscription receivable, treasury stock, contra equity sila. So, ima-minus sila. Pag-add to, minus, add, minus. Yung total shareholders equity natin is 550,000. Ayun. Baka lumabas sa exam niyo, ganun. Tapos na tayo. So, merong post peer mentoring session na practice test. Ma-access nyo sa form na to, sa link na to. Pwede nyo screenshot or ibibigay naman tong materials sa inyo, tapos i-access nyo na lang. Tapos, pwede nyo yung sagutan as a practice. And meron din palang evaluation form kung meron kayong mga suggestions or mga like constructive criticisms about sa pagme-mentor ko, pagme-mentor namin, pwede nyong i-access tong evaluation form or sabihin nyo. Yung kumbaga, kung ano pa yung pwede namin i-improve. Yan. Ma-access nyo din to sa materials na ibibigay sa inyo. So, yung references ko pala, kinuha ko yung mga discussion na yun kay Balyada, tsaka kay Baisa and Lupisan na textbooks. Tapos yung kaninang drills, kinuha ko din kay Valix na Practical Accounting number 2. Tapos, yung iba is yun nga, from Sir Win na accounting lectures, pati yung isa pang channel na accounting lecture series. Yung representation kanina, yung visual representation, dineduce ko yun from a lecture kay accounting lecture series. Si iba din dito, yung ibang examples dito, illustration. Mga lecture materials din namin nung second year kami. So yan, and na. Thank you sa time nyo. Thank you sa pagpunta dito sa peer mentoring. Pwede na kayong mag-leave at pahinga. Thank you, Niniel. Thank you, Isaac. Roger pala.
Thank you
Yun,
po.
thank you.